Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Athena Amoeba. I am coming to you from inside my car because I'm about to go drive, lift, and make some extra money, which I really need to do. Um, so, before I start this video, I actually recorded this video 2 weeks ago, and so I'm definitely behind on posting, and you'll see why when I post it. But I just want to say I'm okay, I'm better now. For those of you who are my friend, my close friend, or are my friend on any other social media platform, you might have known that I was feeling really down. My self-esteem took a total nosedive, as you'll see from the content of this video. But I'm okay now. I'm coming up. I feel like maybe I have seasonal depression that comes around every October, because last October I crashed this hard, but I didn't make it public, and this time I did. So therein lies the difference. I just dealt with it by myself, and I have a video about how I did that, and I'll put that in the link below. So trigger warning, I don't really remember what I talked about 2 weeks ago, but basically low self-esteem, suicidal ideation, and I'm not sure if I talked about that, but that's how low I got. So just wanted to say that. Thank you all so much for all of your support and everything, and you know, we go through challenges, we go through struggles, and we get through them, and we can get through them together. So if you're having a hard time, please reach out. If you're struggling through something, leave a message in the comments below, or message me personally, because you're not alone. You know, none of us are alone, and none of us are the only ones dealing with what we're dealing with. So that being said, here is the update. Hey y'all, what's going on? It's Athena Amoeba, and this is a very candid video because, for one, I can't find my little tripod thing that I usually use. It's gone. I have no makeup on right now, so you can see what I'm about to talk about, one of the things I'm about to talk about. And yeah, I don't know, I don't want to say that I'm not feeling good. I'm not feeling bad necessarily, but I'm not feeling good. I'm just feeling a little like bleh. So anyway, let's get to it. I just recorded a really long update video, and it was like 20 minutes long, so I deleted it, and I'm starting over. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so anyway, moving on. Yeah, so basically, long story short, this is an update video for weeks 16 and 17. I feel like these last 2 weeks have been interesting. Okay, so the good things, I started to record interviews. I've done 4 interviews so far with people who I've known personally in my life, people who are amazing, and doing these interviews have been really great because, one, I've been able to connect with friends, with people who I respect, with people who I admire them as people and what they do. And I would consider, I'd say that I was good friends with at least 2 of the people that I interviewed, and I would consider all of them friends. But I knew at least 2 of them for like 10 years, and we used to hang out, have fun, jam, all that stuff. So it was awesome. It was awesome, especially because they're really funny people, but it was awesome getting to ask them like serious life questions and getting their answers. And so that's been great. It's been a great way to connect with friends, catch up with friends, and I feel like all the interviews that I've done so far have been amazing, and I've gotten so much out of all of them, so much wisdom, and I've just been really happy about that. The other thing is that I've been thinking a lot just about life and the direction that I've been going with life, or haven't really been going in any direction in life, just kind of spinning my wheels and whatnot. That's how I feel. And what's important to me, I've really been thinking about values, and I haven't fleshed them out completely, but I know that I value creativity, and not just creativity, but I value creation, the creation of stuff. Anytime I'm creating, it makes me feel good, especially when I'm creating in a group. And it got me thinking about music again. For the first like 20 years of my life, especially the first 18 years of my life, music is what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to make music, like that's it. I didn't care if I had to be a studio musician. I wanted to make music. I started playing bass. I moved to guitar. I've always done vocals. And once I started organizing and getting involved in social justice, that kind of took over everything. And not just my time, not just with work, not just because I was working at like soul sucking nonprofits, but because I don't know, it changed who I was as a person, for better and for worse. There's definitely a lot that I learned. There's definitely ways that I've grown as a person, and there's ways that I will always have to continue to grow. I feel like we always have to challenge ourselves. We always have to challenge our level of consciousness or how woke we are, all that stuff. But I feel like it shouldn't be a measure of whether you're a good person or not. And I feel personally that's what I didn't like. I started becoming somebody who did judge other people based on their level of consciousness and awareness of social issues, which is also a factor of environment. I feel like that's a lot more popular in academic circles than anywhere else. I also feel like if you want somebody to grow, if you want somebody to change, if you want somebody to become more conscious and aware of issues, then calling them a bad person for not being aware is kind of counterproductive. But hey, that's just me, and that's what I didn't like about it, and I've talked a little bit about that before in other videos. But yeah, I just feel like I really lost myself in that, and became really depressed, became very bitter, became a lot of things that weren't helpful to me, and I'm not saying that everybody is like that in these nonprofits or in movements or stuff, but I became that way, and I didn't like it, and now I'm still in the process of like unlearning those things and just remembering what it's like to be a person again, instead of like trying to become some like robot or something. I don't know how to explain it. It's probably a bad explanation. But before that, it was all about music. It was all about creation. And I guess I could have at some point merged the two, but I don't know why I didn't. I just got sucked into this like really bitter, really serious mode, and it basically almost like ruined my life, and I lost myself and all this stuff, right? So anyway, but yeah, so lately I've just been like trying to give myself space to create music. I also have like a lot of limiting beliefs attached to it now. Like I stopped making music because I felt like I wasn't good enough. I stopped making music because, I don't know, I just had all of these like negative associations attached to it, even though it's something that I loved. I just struggle a lot with feeling old. I struggle a lot with feeling like I'm too old, and I always tell everyone else it doesn't matter, and I literally feel that way about other people, but when it comes to me and my experience, I just feel like I'm too old. I'm too old to make music. Or I guess what I feel is not that I'm too old to make music, but like I should be better than I am by now, especially because I've gone so long without playing. And so what I've started to do, I've done like just a couple of paintings. I have no restrictions around paintings. I have no expectations for myself surrounding painting and drawing. As a matter of fact, I've always felt like I can't paint and I can't draw. So I just started using that as kind of like a creative outlet. Here is one of the paintings that I've done. And it was just fun. It was just like a nice release, a nice it just allowed me to be creative. It allowed me to express myself freely without judging myself too much, because I wasn't expecting anything of myself, if that makes any sense. And so that's been that. That's been something. I've been focusing on how can I integrate creativity into my everyday life. How can I create something every day? That's something that I'm thinking about, because it's something I value, and it's something that I haven't prioritized. And so I've been trying to focus on creativity, bring that into my life, incorporate that again. So that's been going on. As far as my weight loss, I'm still I gained more weight. I got down to 182 like 2 weeks ago, which was awesome. I almost won my diet bet, but soon after, I started self-sabotaging and like eating a lot again. And I went to San Diego and we ate California burritos. Me and my boyfriend, that's who we is. We ate California burritos like every day. It was delicious. And I started eating meat again because I wanted, like, California burritos is like his favorite food from San Diego. So I had to try his favorite food, right? And it was amazing. I don't regret it, but I need to get back to being vegetarian again. And actually, I'm thinking about being vegan because look at this face right now, okay? I know that's probably because of cheese and yogurt and dairy. I mean, everybody knows, everybody says cheese makes you break out. And I love cheese, like you don't understand. But if I'm unhappy with my appearance and my face, I just need to stop eating cheese, you know? Like sometimes I feel so powerless, and something I've been struggling with, which is why I'm recording like this, something I've been struggling with a lot lately is my appearance and feeling just like I'm not happy with how I look in various ways. Obviously my skin that I just pointed out, I have these puffy eyes, and that's not from lack of sleep, that's hereditary, unfortunately, and it's always there, and I think there's ways to get rid of it. You can have some sort of surgery where they like remove whatever the hell is in there, but come on, that's not gonna happen. Certainly not anytime soon. Maybe there's other more temporary fixes that I could do every day. I will try. But basically, in a nutshell, I just feel like I'm not very happy with my appearance. And not just to say that I'm not happy, but I don't feel good. And I compare myself a lot to other people, especially people on Instagram, or even people that I know who I'm like, God, I wish I looked like that, you know? And it's not just a matter of the weight thing, which I am working on, and it's a slow journey. It would be a faster journey if I didn't do stuff like eat California burritos or self-sabotage after I made progress. But you know what? That's part of the process too, I think. And I'm trying not to beat up on myself too much. I am trying to use pain as leverage. And if you don't know what that means, you can watch a video on pain and pleasure and how that plays a role in what we do in our daily lives. And I'll put the link in the description below, because I know I still need to focus consciously on that. But I'm trying to use this pain or this discomfort that I have about my appearance as leverage to make changes. But something that's been holding me back is this subconscious limiting belief that I know I need to work on too, about being too old. So it's like, okay, I could fix my appearance, I could help myself look the way that I want to look, which for me includes like having like blue hair or having like pink hair and having piercings, which I used to have. Like you can even see them there on my lips, and I used to have my eyebrow pierced back in the day. That was like a thing, you know? But yeah, I don't know, I just feel like that is how I would feel comfortable, or that's how I see myself in my head. But I haven't because of jobs, I haven't because of a bunch of reasons, you know? And I don't know, it's interesting. I used to watch, there was this YouTuber I used to watch a lot named Joji Gray. And he's an artist, and he had implants. He put implants in his forehead, like 2 little horns. And he talked about like how he didn't feel like he was himself fully until he had those implants. And it's just crazy like how much our appearance is part of our self-actualization journey, and how when we look in the mirror and we don't see like a match to what we feel we are inside, or how we see ourselves in our head, or how we want to be, I don't know, it's painful. It's like oddly painful. And it seems like such a luxurious problem to have, and I'm sure that it is, but it's real. You know what I mean? I feel like people from all backgrounds, all communities feel that. It's like you want to feel connected with yourself. You want to feel connected with what you see in the mirror. At least I do, and I feel like I'm not currently. And so I'm trying to address that and figure out, like, focus on where I have power instead of feeling powerless, because it gets to me hard, you know? Like, today when I said I wasn't feeling very good, I was literally feeling and thinking, like, man, I wish I could just die and start over, because then I feel like I wouldn't have wasted my youth. Like, maybe the second time around, I could actually, like, be who I want to be the type of person I want to be, instead of being, like, this scared, repressed shell of a former self for the last like fucking 7 years, you know? Again, there's experiences that I've had in ways that I've changed that I'm thankful for, but for the most part I feel like I've just been dead inside for so long. I almost don't even know how to come back, you know? I'm trying, I think I'm starting to, but it's hard, you know? And also, I think it's a challenge for me because I generally do, and this is me being very vulnerable and very honest, I do feel ugly, you know? I do. I mean, like, look at me, tell me I'm not. And I'm not saying that like in a tell me I'm not way, but I'm like, can you know, who could disagree with that? I feel like, you know, and please don't comment about that. That makes me feel really weird. But for me, I feel like I'm ugly. And it's really hard for me to feel good about myself. And so lately I've just been thinking like, so what? Like, instead of trying to fight it and be like, everybody's beautiful, you're beautiful in your own way, like maybe I should just embrace it, like I'm ugly. But if that's the case, like I would want to be alone, like I wouldn't want to have a partner, because I feel like it'd be fine for me to like meet my own standards, and like I can be fine with that on my own, but I don't want to feel like I'm not living up to someone else's standards, because then that will make me feel consistently like I'm not enough. And I want to feel like I'm enough, like even if I'm just enough for myself, you know? But it's like when you're with somebody else, there's almost like this other measuring stick that you have to compare yourself to, you know, or you have to be good enough for that one too. It's not just about being good enough for yourself anymore, you know? And so that's all the stuff I've been struggling with. That's like the real the real deal of like what's been going on. And as much as I like to promote positivity, and as much as I like to tell everyone, and not just tell everyone, I really believe that everyone can be what they want. I really believe that age doesn't matter. I really believe that it's never too late. But when it comes to me, all those limiting beliefs come into play. So it's like when I see other people, I see the potential, I see the possibility. I am like, yes, do it, go for it. When it comes to me and I like flip that on myself, I see it's too late for you. You know, you'll never be that. You can't be that. You know, just all this stuff. Or almost like it's a joke. Like it's, I don't know. Almost like I'm kidding myself kind of thing, you know? And I don't think that there's a lot of like wonderful people that I know and have in my life, but I don't think that I've never really had like solid mentors. And if I have, I don't necessarily think that it's been in a direction that I truly want to go in my life, if that makes any sense. It's like, oh, I can mentor you into doing this, but it's like, that's not what I actually want to do with my life, if that makes sense. And so I don't know, maybe that's just me focusing on lack. I've known a lot of great people, and I've definitely had a lot of support, and I'm thankful for that, but for some reason I'm just struggling, and I feel like it's hard to receive, and it's hard to be grateful when you are so down on yourself. It's just like the state of lack, you know? And I honestly feel bad about it because there's so much fucked up shit going on in the world, and I'm like, this is what I'm dwelling on, you know? But it's just like you get so, or I get so like caught up in it. It's like not even an option. I try to refocus consciously, and I do sometimes, and I am successful sometimes, but a lot of times it's hard. I feel a change though. I do feel a shift, even on days or times when I'm having a rougher time, like I have in the last couple weeks. I do feel a difference between now and even like a couple years ago. Like a couple years ago, I definitely would have never posted this or been this like vulnerable about my truth. And the only reason I share it is because I feel like if somebody else is going through the same thing, like, you know, you're not alone, you know? And the only other reason I post it too is because, like I said earlier, I was thinking, you know, I wish I could just die and start over. But another part of me is like, no, like, be proof that you could change your life at any moment, that it's not too late, that you can do whatever you want, that if you focus enough, you can, you know? And so I hope that I'll be proof of that someday. And if I am, then this will be documentation, evidence that once I was so down on myself and didn't believe in myself and felt so ugly and felt so incapable and felt like a failure and felt so incompetent, and I was in debt and I didn't want to get out of bed most days, you know, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I hope to be evidence that anything's possible, so that means I have to keep going. I have to keep striving. So this is a long video again. But yeah, it's been an interesting couple weeks. We'll see where the wind takes me. Well, no, let's see where I take myself. I have to focus. So it's continuing to be a process. I'm gonna see what changes I can make, what I can tweak in order to hopefully make things better. In the meantime, I'm still doing interviews. I'm still finding ways to incorporate creativity in my life. Gonna get back on the weight loss wagon. Gonna get back on the vegan train to hopefully fix my skin. So here's a before. Let's see if there's a nice after sometime in the near future. And for my body where I'm at, here's a before. I'm not naked, I swear. Here's a before. Also, I don't know. I don't mean to fat shame. I definitely don't. It's just me trying to feel good about myself and maybe caring too much about societal expectations. But it's also that thing of like, I want to like what I see in the mirror. I want to connect with it. And, you know, that's going to be different for everybody. For some people, it's going to be finding a way to accept what exists. For others, it's going to be bringing to life what you see in your head. And so it's different for everyone. And so I'm sorry, I definitely don't want to shame anybody else by talking about like weight loss and all this stuff. It's just what's authentic to you, you know? And to me, I think I will be happier once I get back down to a smaller size. Once I see pictures of myself that I'm like, oh yeah, that's me, instead of like, oh my God, that's me, you know? But I think everybody out there is beautiful. I'm the only one that I don't think is beautiful. I look like such a crazy hot mess right now. I'm sure I sound like one. But hey, that's my reality right now. Letting you all in on the inside scoop. It's real. Much love to y'all. I'm trying to turn that love around in myself. It is a process. Until next time, take care of yourselves. And if you're feeling a certain way, you're not alone. Much love.